everybody. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Come on in the room. Say hello to us. Let us know where
Hey.
you're watching from. This is the Sisters to Sister Connection talk show where Twonta and I show up for you guys every week, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, sharing some hard-hitting topics that's going to get you moving to help you to improve your spirituality, your stability, and we do that all through sisterhood. Okay, so we have people watching us from all over the world, and want you guys to shout out your city, shout out your state. So please do that right now. We're going to give you guys an amazing topic tonight. Towards the end of the show, though, we have something called What's News, which is an amazing segment that Twonta actually, I think we launched that around like what, July this year? Yeah, beginning of July.
Yeah, not that long ago.
Right. And we're going to talk about more about that later. But after this show, we also have the afterglow. So come hang out with me there, guys, because we're going to talk about tonight's topic. We're going to dive a little bit more deeper into the conversation. So, hey, LaShawn. I see LaShawn just hopped on in. Yes. Thank you for coming on. And guys, don't forget to share this out. If you're watching on YouTube right now, please do us a favor. Hit that like button. That really helps us out with the algorithms. We want you to subscribe. We're almost at 100 subscribers on YouTube, Twonta. Like 4 people away. So listen, if you have a sister friend or a Mr. friend or a sister and a Mr. friend, maybe two in one body,
that's awesome.
Share the link to them and say, hey, do me a quick favor, subscribe. You're gonna love this channel. It's amazing. So hit that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you definitely don't want to miss out on all of the shows that we do. Yes. So we're in season 8 of the Sister Connection, guys. And we do our seasons as 10 episodes each. We take about a 2-week break, and then we restart the next. Hey, Tamika Hicks, what's
Hey, Tamika.
Yes. And then we restart, the next season after. Okay. So definitely, guys, if you want to be updated on anything, join our Facebook group at bit.ly/Sisters to Sister Connection. Get inside that group. Make sure you answer them questions, though. Okay. Make sure you answer them questions, and we will get you on added in because we do some stuff in there as well. All right. So let's jump into tonight's topic, which I love, by the way. Twonta always comes up with some amazing topics, guys. So I'm going to leave it to you, Twonta, to share, hey, Diane, what we're going to be talking about and chatting about on this evening.
Yes, y'all. So our topic tonight is don't celebrate what you got on it, but celebrate what you got rid of.
Amen. Amen.
Okay. Come on. I want you to think about, what did you get rid of recently? Because, we often celebrate like, oh, I got me this. I got me a new car. I got me a new man, honey. I got me a new promotion. I got a new...
Right.
And those things are good. But when was the last time you actually celebrated something you got rid of? Something that just bounded you, that caused a lot of strife and grief and drama in your life? When was the last time you celebrated something like that? So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about the things that you got rid of. And also, while we are going through those points, add your own personal things.
Yeah, please do.
What did you get rid of recently that no one is aware of? And be proud of it. It don't have to be anything grand or anything like that. Right. It's something really simple, but that's you. That's your celebration because you went through something with that thing and you finally decided to release it once and for all. And you feel so good that you did that. It could be you got rid of 5 extra pounds. Hey, it ain't easy to get rid of 5 pounds, y'all.
It's not, especially the older you get, it's harder to shed those pounds. You're absolutely right.
So this is what we're going to talk about tonight. I hope y'all enjoy this conversation. I think it's going to be great.
It will. And, we're not telling you to just, dead the things that you got and not be thankful. But I feel like, I was telling this to Twonta, I think it was this morning, that we get so attached to things, right? We get so attached to what we do have and what we do possess. But we also got to celebrate, like what Twonta was saying, what we release from our life, or more importantly, what we're about to release out of our lives, because that's a blessing in itself. Well, when you get rid of toxicity, when you get rid of your personal procrastination, when you get rid of your non-belief in
Yeah.
yourself. I was just talking to a client about that this morning. We always saying we can't, we're not sure, I'm not lucky, you know. It's
Mhm.
like we're all gifted from God. We create our own luck. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah, we're gonna go deep into this conversation tonight. But I want to ask you guys, what are some things that you have gotten rid of or you want to get rid of in your life that you want to celebrate? That's
Exactly.
a benefit for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the first point for tonight.
Yes.
Get to celebrate that you got rid of that procrastination.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. I
Mm-hmm.
listen, I'm celebrating that.
Amen.
Because I used to allow I just put things off, because whatever was going on in my life at that time,
Mm-hmm.
and I just didn't have the desire or the energy or even the passion anymore. So I just like, you know what? I'm just going to deal with it later. I don't want to deal
Yeah.
with it right now because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not feeling it. I'm not I'm not in a good space right now,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm celebrating that.
Yes.
because
Yes.
go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
And
Go
I
ahead.
feel like those of you who feel you still are stuck with procrastination, you still put things off to the next day, you still
Mhm,
push things aside,
mhm,
celebrate that procrastination is about to be released in your life. Because some of
mhm,
y'all may be working towards that, right? You may be working towards, being a woman of your word and getting laser focused on your to-do list and actually accomplishing things and getting some things done. So let's head on over to the comments real quick because I appreciate you guys'
yes.
input and you guys being totally transparent. Those of you
Right.
who just hopped on, I just asked the question, what are some of the things that you guys have been celebrating that you have released yourself from or about to release yourself from? So I know LaShawn mentioned that she was releasing herself from toxic people.
Correct.
That's a blessing in itself. Now, listen, it's hard. Like I've gotten rid of in the past few years a few very close family members that they were just extremely toxic, not just for me, but for my children as well, for my marriage or what have you. And it just started to create so much chaos and craziness. And one of the things I started to realize is that me personally, I have to stop fighting my point. Because again, you can fight all day, you can argue all day, you can even state factual examples of why things are the way they are in your life. And there's going to be people that not going to understand it, that's not going to support it, and wants to put on their agenda onto you. So
Mhm,
for me, yes, me getting rid of toxic people, especially individuals in my family, has been hard. I'm still mourning that on a day-to-day basis.
mhm,
But I always think about, wow, at least now I don't have to go through this. At least now we don't have to have this many conversations. At least now I don't have to expose my children to this type of toxicity. So I'm
mhm.
glad you mentioned that, LaShawn. What do you think about LaShawn's comment, Twonta?
You know what? Toxic people drain you out.
Oh, yes.
They literally
Oh,
drain you out. I mean, the more you get drained, the more they are more pumped up.
oh my
It just
God,
seems
girl, you
that's
preach that. We could end this live right there.
okay.
Draining.
I mean, honestly, I've been
You're
through
right.
that. Oh my God, I've been through that. And Lord have mercy. And like Leticia says, you get tired of explaining yourself,
Tired of it.
not just one time, but you have to constantly repeat yourself over
Hmm.
and over and over again. And the thing is, you are just talking to a dead wall.
You are. You absolutely are.
Talking to a dead wall because
Hmm.
they refuse to open up and receive what you are
Right.
talking about. They're not taking your heart, taking
Oh,
your
girl.
word at heart. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Because at
Hmm.
this point, it's all about them. It's
Right.
all about
Oh, yes.
period.
Yes.
You know what I'm
You're
saying?
right. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. That when you said energy, they drain your energy. That was my trigger right there. Because it is energy draining. It's like you have real life vampires, in your life. They're just sucking the energy out
Right.
of you. And it's just not right.
Right.
Going into what Tamika said, I know earlier, Tamika, you mentioned negative vibes. Yes.
Mhm.
And not only you stop focusing on negative vibes, you also take the individuals from around you who also have a negative vibe. Because I feel like we are just not born with negativity in our minds. I feel
Mhm.
like it's the individuals sometimes around us that
Mhm.
contribute to our negativity or have that negative vibe, and just negative aura around them. So I
Mhm.
also think it's important to stay away from them. But Tamika also said, yes, such as being in a presence of negativity, right? Right, especially friends or family. I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's some people in your life that just can't help, being who they are. They always think about the what if it doesn't work, or what
Yeah.
if it doesn't happen, or what if you fail. No, it
Mhm.
is when I start getting around people, men and women, who are like, the world is limitless. There's nothing you cannot do if you believe in God, and you are being consistent. The
Right.
world is going to be open to you like it's never been before. So I'm glad you mentioned that, Tamika, and thank you so much, LaShawn, for putting in your input as well. So
Absolutely.
yeah, procrastination is definitely a dream killer.
It sure is. And I hope, and you know what? I wish we had like a little hat and party, little things that you blow.
Oh yes, next time, definitely next time.
That would be
Yes. Oh, let's put
awesome.
that would be next time, definitely. LaShawn
Mhm.
said toxic people can make you physically sick and cause pain. I used to have a boss that was like that, LaShawn. Like, I would feel physically
Yeah.
sick. My back would hurt, my neck would hurt. It was crazy. And I would go to the doctor and he was like, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with you. You're good." But I'm like, I feel this way.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Physically sick.
Hmm.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes,
I'm telling
yes.
you, they can that toxic minds. Oh,
It's a killer. It
that's
definitely is.
huge. That is so huge to really celebrate that, because people have been around that type of atmosphere for a long
Long
time.
time. It's almost like you get so used to it, especially if it's family.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
auntie, she
immune
just
to it.
crazy. Or
Yeah.
cousin Jeffrey, he's just being him. And
Hmm.
and family accepts that because that becomes part of what y'all used to. But you gotta say stop.
Yeah.
Like, enough is enough.
Hmm.
Like, you can act that way out there, but in my house, in my presence, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to talk about that.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
got to change the game. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know what's so crazy though? I was talking to my daughter, my eldest daughter, this morning, because her and my youngest son are always argues a lot. Twonta, they like they're the bickering, and
Yep.
my daughter was like, "Warren, he annoys me." I said, "No, you let him annoy you.
Hmm.
He's 9. You're 12, 13, whatever.
Hmm.
You can't let people annoy you."
Hmm.
And you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we got to put people in their own positions. Sometimes that people, you ever been around somebody that just have a personality trait? It doesn't necessarily fit yours, but it's just annoying when you get around them, or
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We can't let that come over us. It's like, you got to be, it's so you being in a room with a group of people and still maintaining your own self-worth and controlling your own emotions
Yeah.
is important.
It's
We can't
important.
let people put stress on us. We allow it. They can be stressful people,
Hmm.
but we can't allow them to bring stress to us. I'll be
Absolutely.
right back. I have macaroni in the oven. I need to take it out right now. Okay, I'll be right back, love. I'm telling you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's just like I said, it's so tiring, it's stressing, and you can't go to the hospital for that. People, and when you go to the doctor to find out, why your heart is racing so much and everything, or what have you healthy, and they go through all of the procedures to make sure there's nothing wrong with your heart, and they tell you that what stressed you out lately, or or who stressed you. It's not even so much what is who. Right, who stressed you out. And when you finally acknowledge who those people are, you got to make a decision as to whether or not are you going to continue to allow those people to stress you down like that, or you gonna make a change and say, you know what, no more of this. You either get out, or we gonna have to work out something. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's something for those of us who have finally got rid of the toxic people in your life. That's something you definitely need to thank God for every single day. Right. And like I said, along with procrastination, that's another thing too that's been a downfall for a lot of us sisters out here. We have put things off because of fear, because of laziness, because of you know the way how we think, the way how we see things or whatever. And we, and we just like, oh, I'll wait until I can, when I have enough money, or I'll wait until I get my tax refund, or I'll wait until, when things get a little bit better. Yes, girl, anxiety and mental health is real. Yes, it is, right? And so we come up with all these different reasons as to why we can't continue to do our assignment, to do what we need to start on, and that just blocks our blessing. God ain't doing that to us. We doing that to ourselves. So if you one of those sisters that can definitely, if the shoe fits for you, and if that procrastination spirit, you finally rebuke that thing out your life, and it's delivered from you, girl, you better celebrate that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I am. All right. So let's go to number 2. Let's go to point number 2. The next thing that that you need to celebrate for number 2. Number 2. Yeah, we got procrastination. What's number 2? Celebrate selfish needs. And that means about you always greedy. You just needy for everything, honey. Right? Celebrate that you don't have to, you're not that way no more. Because it's all about me. When you get in that selfish, when you put yourself in the center, you want to be shined. You want to be shined on. You want to be loved on. You act like you can't do nothing. You act like you can't lift the finger, honey. You can't even lift the pen. You just, it's just, it's all about you. It is not even nobody else. Celebrate that you are not that woman no more. Celebrate that, it's not about me, celebrate that, because there's a lot of sisters out there that are very selfish and very needy.
Oh, yes.
Okay. And honey, they act like they can't do nothing.
Girl.
Okay. They put on this performance, honey, like they are about to break in pieces if they don't get no assistance, if they get no help, and that's a nuisance.
Right.
That's not me, thank God.
Thank God. I've seen a lot of women selfish in business. If you feel like, it's almost like when you're in business and you feel fearful, you're like, oh my God, what if people don't like what I have to offer? What if people talk negative? You're being selfish. When you think about who you're going to impact, right, versus how you feel on the inside, now you're being selfless. You're being that person that I want to get out there and help people, so I'm going to show up because of that. I want my product in people's hands because I know it's going to make them feel good, or I want my services, people to purchase it because I know they're going to get a big impact. When we make it about us all the time, that's your selfish needs. You're satisfying your selfish needs, and it goes back to what we mentioned before about procrastination. You're going to procrastinate because you're being selfish. You're not thinking about those that need you. You're not thinking about those people.
Right. And put in the comments, y'all, as to who in your life that is all about themselves. They're not self-giving towards others, but they do expect you to be given to them. Right. So if you know anyone like that, just go ahead and put the comments down. Okay. It's family, friends,
anybody.
It could be anybody. And you love them, but they are nuisance because they always act like they can't do nothing.
Always interjecting their feelings. This is what I went through. Well, I know what you're telling me, but when I was 1.5, this is what happened. I know I'm 55 now, but no. No, you're not listening to me. When I was 1.5, we were in middle school.
Girl.
No, I know I'm 63. But nobody cares. Nobody listens to me. Because you're living decades beyond, right?
Huge.
LaShawn said, my mother, mine too, she does that.
Yeah. And here's the thing. You try to explain that to them. You try to explain it to them and they don't get it. They get offensive and then they get indignant. For some of them, they get a little indignant with you now.
Yeah, they get gaslight you like crazy. Yes. Like crazy.
Okay.
Yes, it's crazy. I have a family member, and I shared this before on the show. that when she says something wrong, the way she apologizes is messed up. I'm sorry if you got offended. No, say sorry that you offended me.
There you
Because
go.
now when people say, I'm sorry that you got offended, they're not taking ownership of that apology. They're making it still your fault that you got mad at something that they did.
Good. That's
so
good.
You know what's so funny though, LaShawn? When I was younger, I didn't catch it. I took it as an apology. But as I got older, I'm like, because you realize they say that, but they still do the same thing over and over again. Be like, wait, they apologized, they changed. Didn't really apologize though.
They didn't.
Okay, really, they're trying to change you and your reaction.
Light off of them real quick.
Yeah,
you got to know
total
these
gaslight
type of mindset. You got to know that, honey.
Say sorry for what you did. Get right, LaShawn. Just I apologize that I made you upset. I apologize that I got you mad. I apologize that I said that.
Exactly.
Take ownership that you messed up. We all mess up.
We all do.
I had to go to Twonta and apologize. Remember Twonta? I was like, I apologize. Let's get the show going again.
Yeah.
If I had said it in the reverse way, wouldn't you be like, oh, girl, I got stuff to do? Right? We all make mistakes, y'all. Life, that's part of life.
And if it's not you that you celebrating yourself for that, celebrate the people that you got away from.
Yeah.
That are just like that. You love them, but you're gonna love them.
Yeah, we do. We genuinely do.
But you cannot have that in your space. You cannot have that in around your children. You can't have that in your app. You just can't, because you see that they are just going to do what they want to do. They're blinded by their own selfish, needs, their own selfish behavior.
Everything. And it's really known, Twonta, that when you have stressful people in your life, that's a health risk. Like, I know you have the mental health side, but you also have the health risk with stress, anxiety, high blood pressure. When you get around individuals who are negative, it just gets you intoxicated. It just makes you all tense. All in here aches and hurts. You can get a heart attack. You can get a stroke.
You really can.
We hear it every day. People young, like what, 30-something, 40-something years old. High blood pressure, heart attack. What? You're so young.
Yeah. And listen, y'all, we are getting closer to the end of this year. And I know a lot of us, we are considering, I'm hoping some of you are doing that. You considering about doing a major clean sweep in your life before 2023 comes to existence. Because I don't think we want to roll over with that same garbage.
No, we don't.
New year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At some point, we got to decide, you know what? I want 2023 to be exceptionally amazing, profitable, abundance, all of those things. And it can definitely happen for you. But you got to make some changes and some decisions. And it's not easy to tell the people that you love that, they are the issue. They are the problem, right? My girl, Therese, said she did that in 2020.
Yeah, that's right. She sure did.
And you know what? And sometimes you have to do it every year. Okay. Because, every year it brings in new drama, new people, new issues, new everything, right? And you don't want to carry that over. You just don't. You want to live a healthy, exuberant life and not deal with the drama of these people or persons in your life. You always love them. That's not a doubt about that. But you just cannot love the drama, the issues. You just can't deal with that anymore.
And also ask yourself, are you bringing the drama?
Yes.
Like, ask yourself, like those of us who want to become less selfish and to start to really make sure that we're, like you said, we're taking an audit of the people around us. Also take an audit of yourself, ladies, and ask yourself, do you always go straight to the negative sometimes? Like when you're challenged or when you're going through something that's really huge in your life, that's going to trigger some massive change in your life, your business, or are you instantly going to, I don't know if this is going to work out, or I don't know if I can do this, or I don't have everything prepared. You're instantly going to the negative side instead of going to the positive side and say, oh, I can do this. Let me reach out to a few people. Let me see who I can connect with. Let me follow up. Let me do whatever. So make sure that as we want positivity and come to our lives, we got to also be positive ourselves, because we're like magnets. We attract, the energy that we give out.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Let's
Yeah.
move to number 3. And you guys, please continue to comment below about some
Please.
things that
Mm-hmm.
that you are definitely proud to say I got rid of.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is all about growth for us. It's all
Right.
about growth and making
Mm.
new changes in our lives.
Right.
So the third point that we want to talk about, or what you need to celebrate, is bullies.
Mm.
Yes, bullies. Who are the bullies in your life? Who were the
Right.
bullies in your life that was threatening, that was, just a pain in the butt? They always had their ultimatums, this, that, or whatever, put you in the corner,
Right.
had you feel less of a woman or less of a person, that kind of thing. And it took a
Mm-hmm.
while for you to really stand your ground and
Mm-hmm.
and say no more. You're not gonna bully me this way. You're not gonna treat me this way.
Right.
And you have the right to celebrate that,
Right.
because that's abuse.
Yeah.
Okay, just keeping it real. Now, someone being a bully in your life, and they always
Absolutely.
dominating and take control and attacking your integrity and all those things like that. That's abusive,
Yes,
right?
it is.
And a lot of women, especially years ago, and if you have like your grandmother and that generation, they didn't know how to get out of that.
No.
They didn't know how to fight back.
Mm-mm.
They just
They
tolerated
accepted it.
it. They accepted it. They
Mm-hmm.
tolerated it. Not saying that they liked it, but at that time they didn't understand the value of who they were. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? But now we're in a whole new different world, different generation of people, and you see a lot of women are like, okay, you going to try? Okay, come on with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you breathe tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
they
That's
get
right.
really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So celebrate that. If that's you,
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and talk about that, because we don't know your story, and I can tell
Mm-mm.
you some of you probably had to deal with that kind of behavior for a long time. If
That's
not
right.
you personally, maybe someone in your
That's right.
family.
You're totally right, Talanta. And we always have like that main person in our family that's like that.
Yes,
We can say,
exactly.
oh, she or he just speaking their mind. No, they're a bully.
Yeah, bully.
They want you to do things a certain way. They want you to operate in a certain way. They want you to show up a certain way.
Hmm.
And when you don't do that, they make you feel uncomfortable. They make you feel
Yes,
like you don't belong. They make you feel not
yes.
wanted, not
Hmm.
accepted. That's also trauma as well,
Hmm.
because you try
Hmm.
to fit into this, like you're a square and they're a triangle. Like you're never going to fit. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? You ever had that toy growing up? You matching the shape, same thing.
Yeah.
Diane said I was going to mention family members gaslighting tactics.
Tactics.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
definitely heavily in the family. That's when you first get your first introduction to that. But years ago, we didn't have that word for it, right? There was no word. The gaslighting, I've never
Right.
heard the word gaslighting or narcissistic or those
Absolutely.
terms until just recently.
Yeah.
Just
Same
recently,
here.
right? So
Same
now that
here.
we have a name for it, now we know how to be able to handle it. Because when we mention gaslighting, that's a personality disorder trait. That's something that I don't know if it's medically diagnosed right now, like all the other, mental health traits. But I know it's something that if you come in contact with it, you got to automatically title it that, so that way you're not, taking in so much. Oh, this my auntie, she's a gaslighter. So now you know to expect it and
Hmm.
know what to say, beyond that. Yeah. Love them from a distance. That's you know what? Sometimes that's the best form of love when it comes to certain people in your life.
Yeah.
When you love them, you support them, you wish them well, but you're going to be over here and they're
Hmm.
going to be over here. And that's just your natural peace. And,
That's it.
and with some people, the time heals, and maybe the individuals sort of realize what happened and what
Mhm.
they did wrong. But
Yeah.
I have people in my life that will say sorry, and then they say, well, but you
Yeah.
don't say sorry then, because you're
Mhm.
still holding on to something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because bullies are like a threat. You know what I'm saying? If you really think about it, ladies, who threatened you once upon a time in your
Oh
life?
yeah.
You
It's
know,
happened.
who threatened you? And if it's not you personally, maybe it was your mom, maybe it was your auntie, maybe it was somebody that you personally knew, but you saw how that individual was very threatening and
Right.
demeaning and just just cold-blooded to some
Yeah.
degree. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it didn't look right and didn't feel right, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and it puts that person in a position where they just can't do the things that they were, capable of doing.
Right. Right.
You know, I
Absolutely right.
grew up in my family where, I saw that but never had a term for it.
Mm-hmm. Same
I
thing.
mean, and here's the thing too. I noticed that as well. If you have someone in your family that's a military person, you got people like that too. That's from that old school, and they take that military training and they use it in their household, but it becomes more like a weapon. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
that's a bully.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care
Mm-hmm.
what they say about, well, I've been in the military for 24
Mm-hmm.
years and
Mm-hmm.
this is how I like my house to be.
Exactly. But you had to act that way over there. You don't need to imply, bring that over to the household. Absolutely not. You're not
Yes.
in war in the household unless you create that, right? Unless you create that.
Right. And I mean, but this is what people have been dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
This is what people have been dealing with for a long
Very
time.
long time. Yes.
And as a kid, I saw that and I didn't understand it. And
Mm-hmm.
the person, I mean, he was very rude and brash and I didn't like that about him.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like him,
Right.
period, because how he was.
Yeah.
But I mean, back then, this is what they
It's
accepted.
what they accepted. Absolutely. And if you didn't accept it, then there's something wrong with you,
Right.
not the person. So it messes with your head a little bit, especially if you're a
Yeah.
child growing into adulthood.
Yeah.
It does mess with you a little bit.
Yeah. Because that bully, he or she, they don't know how to love right.
You're right.
Because at the end of the day, it's all about them anyway. It's
Right.
like my way or the highway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You got to do it my way, or
Right.
if not, you get out.
Yep. Not explain why or anything like that. It's like, and I always say this to people, like, you don't have to be so hard. Like back in the day, we'll
Mm-hmm.
have people in our family be like, they're so hard, they're so rough, they wasn't
Mm-hmm.
gentle. Children need a sense of gentleness right now, especially since COVID and their
Yeah.
whole lives has changed. And we still
Right.
don't know what the outcome is going to be from
Mm-hmm.
even them being shut in for a year or two, right? So it's
Yeah.
good to be more understanding. It's good to have conversations. I know for some of us it's hard. Like I have teenagers, and there's sometimes I feel like I'm so repetitive with things I tell them because it's like, come on, let's you guys have to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
But being so hard sometimes, it's like growing up. Anything we did, we got a whooping for. Anything we did, we'll be reprimanded for. And sometimes we'll act out because there's something going on within us.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we just need to have a conversation,
Right.
not a lecture.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And again, ladies, if you know a bully in your life, go ahead and put that out there. Don't be ashamed, to what have you. If it's not you personally, maybe it's someone that you know. The military bully, yes, exactly. Yes.
Yep.
And it's the truth.
It's
It
the
is
truth.
so true. If you look at some of the movies from back in that period, you get to see how the family, how they survived, how they tolerated that
Mm-hmm.
person.
Mm-hmm.
Because and back then, what is it? PTS? What is
Yeah,
it?
that wasn't a term back then.
Exactly. That
No, there
was
was no
back then,
services for that.
but it existed.
Mm-hmm.
It existed, and people couldn't understand why that person was just so angry and so aggressive, and
Mm-hmm.
this, that, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And this
Mm-hmm.
is
Personality things where they'll be
yes, girl,
okay, and they switch just like that. It's like,
right,
what just happened?
exactly, yeah,
Yeah.
and the family is not. They're not at peace,
Mm-mm.
and they have to walk on eggshells to
Mm-hmm.
prevent their dad or their mom, becoming explosive. And then they go ahead with that threatening, that ultimatum drama, or they go. It's crazy, and so that's a celebration for anybody out there that got rid of that bully, spirit out of their life, because it affected them since their childhood or their young adulthood or what have you. And now they finally release that personality. Like, and even the person is deceased, yet the memory still ponders, you know, because it does something to the heart. It does something to your whole being. And so now you start to acknowledge, like, yeah, this person has traumatized me for 20 some years, even though they're deceased now, but I'm still carrying that weight of the memories of what they did to me. Right. And so definitely celebrate that. Celebrate you got rid of the bullies. And now you know how to deal with it now. Now you have a voice and you can speak about that now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would not tolerate that bully behavior ever again. Never, never, ever again. You know, now that you got kids too, no, you're going to protect them at all costs. Right? Right. So let's go to number 4. What's number 4? What other things you need to celebrate? Being stagnant. Woo! Go ahead.
Yes, honey.
Go ahead and talk on that, Tish.
I want to look at what the word stagnant means. I just
Okay.
want to revisit that part, and let's look up the definition, because somebody may feel like, oh, I ain't stagnant, you know, and maybe you are, but you just don't realize it. So let's look that up. Let's look that up for a quick hot minute and talk about it. And if you guys do feel like you've been stagnant for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, share it. So the definition of stagnant means cease to flow or move. All right. And it says you become stagnant. Nobody makes you stagnant. Sometimes people say that, oh, if I would have did this, but you, or this would have happened if you did. You make yourself become stagnant.
Yeah.
Also says cease developing, become inactive or dull. You're dimming your light. So I want y'all to type in the chat right now. Have you felt you've been stagnant? Like, you really feel in your heart of hearts that you could have done more? Now, I'm not trying to get you guys to feel bad, but we also got to understand that we got to recognize that we are stagnant so we can make those changes. Okay. So yeah, answer that question, y'all. So for me, being stagnant is just like the definition said. You stopped, you being still, you're not moved, you're still thinking about what you want to do, you're still thinking about your success, you're still thinking about the process. But for whatever reason, you chose to stay still. You chose to wait. You chose to just not do anything. Sometimes I hear people say, oh, I'm waiting for a sign from God. You know, no, God gives you that sign when you take action. He gives you that sign when you got to walk towards the burning bush now.
She said, yes, most definitely.
Yes, you've been stagnant. So realize what makes you stagnant. For me, it was always focus. You know, Therese would tell you, Twonta would probably tell you, I used to be that huge supplement girl. I want to take Red Bull, energy, all that stuff. It made me crash because I was taking so many different things just so I can get focused. Because I had that hamster wheel brain sometimes where I'm like, you know? So my lack of focus made me feel stagnant. I just would just stop and won't do anything. So I realized what trait I had, and I said, you know what? Maybe instead I need to put a timer on. Okay, for 1 hour, I'm going to work on this. I divide up my days. I have my time of day where I focus on my client stuff, time of day where I focus on my follow-up, time of day where I focus on my tasks. Because that gets me, and that may be tedious for some people, but for me, it makes me laser focused. I live every day off of my Google Calendar. Okay? Because I have to have a start time and end time for when I do things, even down to cooking, even down to taking a shower, like all that stuff. Because if I don't have that, I'm just going to allow the day to just pass every minute, every hour, things like that. So being stagnant is a choice, right? Even though we don't want to realize that, it is a choice. You're making a decision to not move. It's like you get in a car, you're making a decision to not drive. A car is not going to drive itself. I know there are some cars that do. I'm not getting in them. Okay, some different cars, you know. But yeah, absolutely. Tamika says she's, most definitely been stagnant. Yes, yeah, Diane, yes. So guys, realize what you need to do to change that. Like what is making you do that? Go ahead, Twonta.
Yeah, and also, when you make that choice of being stagnant, do you realize you are robbing yourself?
Yeah, you are. You're cheating yourself. You're cheating yourself out.
You really, really are. We fail. We don't see it that way. We, always, always want to fault other people,
All
or,
the time.
you know,
Blame other people,
yeah, blame,
especially the people who are trying to help you,
yeah.
you know,
Hmm.
definitely.
Right. And we got to stop putting that blame on other people. At the end of the day, it still resolves to you, because God has gave you so many different ideas and visions and things, and we talk about this all the
All
time.
the time.
But
Self-sabotage.
exactly, Diane, self-sabotage.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And here we are in our 40s for some of us, and maybe in our 50s or whatever, and yet we still have not graduated, you know, to that level of success. And
Mm-hmm.
success can be defined in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Success is just not about the dollar amount, and we have brought that to your attentions a while back, but we become stagnant because of fear.
Mm-hmm. You're right. And I feel like I love that you mentioned that success is not really a dollar figure, because I've seen a lot of people who got millions of dollars and they're just unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think for me, success is more about creating your perfect day. Years ago, when I went to Bali, Indonesia, uh, one of the gentlemen there talked about that. He was like, "Have you ever created your perfect day? Like, have you ever wrote out what you want to do, what lifestyle you want to have, what you want to do from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed?"
Mm-hmm.
I think we need that, and I think that goes beyond even creating a vision board. Like, yes, it's great to have that, but are you actually creating that life? Have you written it down?
Right.
And
Yeah.
then once you start to create that perfect day, you start to operate in that. You start
Mm-hmm.
to make sure every day counts,
Mm-hmm.
because in the past, I used to always wake up and think about all the things I didn't do the day before.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm like, I'm going to make today magnificent. I'm going to make, through God, I'm going to make today great. Today's going to be an amazing day. And
Mm-hmm.
you really focus on magnifying each and every day, and let's focus on what you didn't accomplish on that vision board or in those pictures or things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
ladies, start creating your perfect day, and that will stop you from self-sabotaging. That will stop you from staying stagnant, because you're going to be working towards that perfect day. In my mind, before I left my job, I was like, my perfect day for me would be to wake up in the morning and take my kids to school and things like that. And I arrived to that point. And once you arrive to that point, now you're going to add on something else. Like the next thing is,
Right.
go to a spa once or twice a week or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Start to create your perfect day. What does that look like?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and it's all about change. It's all
Yeah.
about decisions and change. And
Yeah.
ladies, what makes you happy.
Right.
Okay. Your husband can't make you happy. You have to define that for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you happy, and when you find
People
out
can make you happy. That's not their responsibility.
exactly,
Yeah.
it's not their responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Then you go ahead and apply those things, and like, okay, well, tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pamper myself, because I like to pamper me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need nobody to tell me, oh, you just spend too much money on you, or
Mm-hmm.
that kind. I'm going to do it because that makes
Yeah.
me happy. I
That's
don't do
right.
it every day, but I make note of it, that I'm going to do it as often as I need to.
That's right. And you know what, Twanta? We need to stop getting mad when we see other women operating in their own joy and happiness. Like, I used to get a little bit like mad, like, why would somebody spend 3 grand on a purse? They may just like nice things.
They may just like it.
You know what I'm saying? So they purchase based on quality, not so much of I want to get a deal. So
Mm,
I realize that there's really nothing wrong with that. Just because maybe you wouldn't get it. I always say, you don't know what you would do if you had enough money to actually afford that. You will probably pass by a Gucci store, a Chanel store, whatever store, and get it.
yeah,
You may feel
yeah.
like, oh, I would love a Range Rover, you
Mm-hmm,
know?
mm-hmm,
And that's what you want. And I just feel like we also, Tawanti, need to stop like ridiculing those people who are doing things for themselves
yeah,
that
yeah,
makes them happy, that makes them feel
absolutely.
joyful, that they earn to get.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's something that we need to
Because
reevaluate ourselves.
right, and when you make that decision of being stagnant, that stops your growth.
It does.
It stops your growth and of learning about who you are.
Yeah.
Um, you know, exactly, Elizabeth.
Yep.
You
You
said you
you
matter.
matter
Yeah.
always.
It stops your growth and learning about who you are from God's perspective.
Hmm.
It really just It slows you down.
It does.
You
It also stops you
know?
from gaining all the blessings
Yeah,
and all the abundance
exactly. Yeah.
that you were called to get and
Mm-hmm.
have,
Mm-hmm.
that you were called to possess, only you. You know, let's bring up Tamika's comment. She said, "My problem is trying to get others to see my vision." But you know what, Tamika? Other people, that's I wouldn't worry about other people as long as you know your vision and you're working towards your vision. And God will bring those individuals who's supposed to be attached to your vision or help you work through your vision. And she also said, and when they don't believe or see it, my mindset sometimes changes with self doubt. Let me tell you something. If I felt that way, I would never left my job. Tamika,
Yes.
if I could just give, if I had like $1 for every person that told me I shouldn't do it, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I would have a lot of money.
Girl, come on.
I would have a lot of money. I feel like you need to focus on how would it feel to
Mm-hmm.
finally accomplish your vision.
Mm-hmm.
Finally accomplish your vision. And let me tell you something. There's going to be people there at the end of that tunnel, at that hill that you're climbing, that's going to celebrate you. You're
Mm-hmm.
not going to remember those people who did not celebrate you, who did not tap into your vision.
Right.
God has people at the top of that mountain. And somebody told me a long time ago, while we're climbing up that mountain of life, if you ever hiked before, I never hiked before, but I know people who have. They're hiking up that mountain, right? What's happening is you're going to see other hikers climbing too. As
Mm-hmm.
you're going higher, you're going to see other hikers, and they're going up with you. You're going to see more
Right.
hikers. So you guys keep rising up,
Mm-hmm.
right? And not focusing on the ones who don't get it, because when they're down here and you're trying to get up here, you're not going to rise them up to that. They're going to stay here,
Right.
right? You got to rise yourself up to that. So I think that's very important. And yes, it's hard. We want all everybody to support us. We want everybody to cheer for us. I
Mm-hmm.
get that. But really, we have to focus on working towards the people that God has called to cheer for us. Because when you have a crowd of people who is called to cheer for you, that is
Mm-hmm.
such an amazing feeling. Way better than those people who are down here who start
Yeah.
to grow and cheer from you. And
Yeah.
even when you start making money, for those people who are down here, it's still not going to mean anything. My
Mm-mm.
mentor told me today to not let not let the left hand know what the right hand is doing. But that's fine if you let the left hand, if you let them, that's okay. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think a lot of what I'm trying to tell you is about your personal mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Stop focusing on worrying about them. You know, yes, it's good to tell and say what your vision is because you got to put it into actual words. You got to put it out there into the universe. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And I
Yes.
think that makes great content. Because let me tell you something. Like the lives I did back when I used to work. I
Mm-hmm.
leverage that for content now. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
so glad that I let the left know what my right hand is doing in the past because now I have that social proof, right?
Yeah.
Elizabeth said, not everyone can take the journey with you. Many times you have to travel alone. That's right. Sometimes travel alone is the best thing, honey. Okay, because when you're bring people with you, got to entertain them, child. Listen,
Okay. They expect you to do
yeah,
something like that.
I
You
want to go.
that's
I want to
child.
run along with runners. So while you doing your thing, I'm doing my thing, but we running together though. We're
Mm-hmm.
pacing each other,
Mm-hmm.
but you still doing this and I'm doing this, and that's great.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. You and ladies, you celebrate that this is growth for you. You have improved. You have improved yourself that okay, yeah, I used to be really, really dry. I was
Like
really
dry turkey,
dull.
honey. You let the
Yeah,
turkey in the
honey.
oven too long, honey. It's just like
Yes. I was really dull
did
in
you
my
get your
life.
turkey yet? I'm getting mine tomorrow.
No, my husband, he does the shopping, honestly,
Good. Oh,
and he gets the
that's a
turkey.
blessing. That's
Yeah,
a blessing.
yeah, honey. So he's gonna do all the major shopping, I think next week because his nephew and their family is gonna be coming.
Right. That's good. That's
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry. I just that thought came
that's
in my head.
okay.
If you talk about food,
Yeah, but I know for a lot of us, you should celebrate just that little bit right now. That yeah, I used to be really dull. I used to be slow in my game. I used to allow the thoughts in my head of people saying things to slow me down. And I started to self-doubt, as Tamika had stated, and that just messes up your equilibrium of success. It really does. It just oh, it's so unbalanced. And then you get in that position like, well, why I'm not achieving? Why I'm not growing? Why I'm not, what have you? And then it just stops you altogether, right? And I think a lot of us have witnessed that. We've done that before. But now you have learned a lot. You may have a coach, you may have a mentor, you may have an advisor, someone that you've been connecting to, and they have really been a blessing, a minister or somebody that's been pouring into you to help you to see things a little differently than you did before. And now it's helped you to like, oh, I can do this. Oh yeah, I do. I have the capabilities of moving forward. I can do this. So if that's what's been going on in your life, celebrate that. Celebrate that, because this doesn't happen overnight. You know what I'm saying? This is a process for a lot of women out there, because people have been stagnant for a long time. You know what I'm saying? They've been stagnant for a long time. And now that they finally decided to make that decision to move forward, it's a day by day growth, you know? So again, if you notice that about you, celebrate that you got rid of, like let's say 20% of this stagnant, you know. She said, I have an accountability partner, right? That's awesome, right? Hey, we all need to have an accountability partner, that will keep us on our toes, that will keep us active, and that will pour into us when we having a bad day, a bad spell, or whatever it is, and sometimes we put our own self in that position. We start to come up with all crazy things. But thank God for that accountability partner. Thank God for that mentor. Thank God for whomever that truly loves you for who you are, and they believe in you. They know that you have greatness in you, and they will do whatever they have to do to keep you going further up and up and up. Like Leticia said, you definitely need that person that's going to run along with you, and even if you stumble and fall, they will come and pick you up and say, "Girl, I got you. I got."
That's right. Right. I think it's definitely good to have accountability partners, different accountability partners as well. Have more than one that may be versed in different things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can have one accountability partner that's just lacking in something that you need.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to have, like, just like how Jesus had 12 disciples. It's good if you have, I know people that has 11, 12, 20 different accountability partners for different things in their life and their business. Like, you have accountability partner to hold you accountable to exercise. You can have accountability partner to help you to. I have somebody that's helping me right now to wake up at 3 a.m. every morning. Because there's this new level I want to get in life. And that number 3 is such a transformational number when you're waking up that early. So I have somebody helping me with that, because I'm getting older now. So it's kind of hard for me challenging for me to get up that early. But yeah, you got to have accountability partners as versed in different things, a spiritual accountability partner,
Absolutely.
different things like that actually help. So find other people to hold you accountable for the various things in your life. And it also has to be congruent with whatever vision that you have. So even like now, yes, you can have a business coach. Yes, you can have somebody out there give you advice, but still there's a limit to where they can go and what they can teach you and what they have access to. So you got to step beyond that. I remember I used to always listen to everything the business coach said and things like that, which was good. But then I noticed I was lacking in a lot of other things that I wanted to accomplish. So I had to go outside myself and outside that network and grab more people into my world. So that way I can have more accountability. So yeah, definitely try that, ladies. I think that's important.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So let's go to our last point for
last
tonight.
Point.
Ladies. Our last point. This is what
filthy
you definitely
thoughts. This was a filthy honey. Where's my niece at? She at work, Twonta?
Oh, yes.
Okay, now make that point, honey.
Yes, she's at work. Filthy thoughts.
So
Celebrate
filthy
that.
means
Celebrate
disgusting
you got
and dirty.
Yes. Yes. And I
To
know
an
we
extreme and often disgusting extent. So when you have extended filthy thoughts, not good.
not good. Not good. because we all had those thoughts. We all have, and it still lingers every now and then. That's the battlefield of the mind. It is. It's the battlefield of the mind. Every day you wake up in the morning, that devil is right there waiting
right there, ready
to you, honey, to slow you down. You may have already prepped the night before. It's like, oh, tomorrow I'm going to get up. I'm going to go ahead and walk for a bit. Or after that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this, do that. But when you wake up, that little demon going to tell you, why you got to walk today?
Yeah, you know? Right, girl. You don't gotta wake up at 3, girl. Get up at 5, 6.
You know,
okay. You know, people still they all still sleeping. You know, one of the things I even think about this myself. When we see other people who accomplish what it is that we're trying to achieve, right? Like losing weight, making 7 figures, whatever. We've seen people do that. We know what strategy they took, what path they took. And the minute we have doubt in ourselves, that is an outer like thought that is so imaginative. Because again, you see the proof with your eyes. I said this the other day that you know how I always say that what God gives you in the spirit, he's going to confirm it in the physical, right? Like you may be thinking of an idea and all of a sudden you speak to somebody who you never told and all of a sudden they say, oh, I would love, this would be a great idea for you. Like, wait a minute. I was just thinking about that for 2 months. That's confirmation in the flesh. But sometimes God does it in reverse for me, where he'll confirm it in the flesh and then he'll put the vision in the flesh and then confirm it in the spirit. So that's how it is with success. Sometimes we see somebody who went through the process and they achieved their goal, right? We saw the physical aspect of it, but in our mind, we haven't confirmed it yet or believe that God has confirmed it for us. So I really feel like when we have those negative thoughts, even though we saw that business or that opportunity work for somebody else and we're still doubting ourselves, that's a filthy thought you're putting in your head.
Absolutely.
It's like you're literally taking doo-doo and putting it on yourself or something. I know that's gross, but that's what you're doing.
It is. And I want to comment below. What were the thoughts that you have been pondering in your head lately?
Right.
That was dirty, filthy, nasty thoughts. And
didn't help you at all.
It didn't help you at all. These are dirty thoughts. Like you look at yourself in the mirror, it's like, oh my God, girl, you are so fat. Oh my God, girl.
Yeah.
What you gonna do with your hair? Like, you know, I don't look good today. I'm just not gonna go out today. Or, I mean, and this is what we do to ourselves. It's not the people anymore. It's
not even that too. It's also that you may look at yourself in the mirror or think what you're thinking negatively, but also the 50 side is that you feel you can't change it.
Right.
So okay, you don't like that you're plus size or you're overweight, but don't you know you could change that? So why are you thinking filthy when you have we sometimes think filthy thoughts about things that we have the power to change and shift in our lives. So we could just say, yes, the power of the tongue is and the mind is real. It's so real. So why do we doubt ourselves then to begin?
Why do we do that? Why do we do that?
If we know more than anything else that
He's not
our power of our thoughts is important.
Yeah.
What we say out our mouths is important. So why are we think negatively then?
Why do we keep doing that to ourselves? We second guess ourselves
all the time.
We second guess our position. When God elevates us to something, to a position, we still second guess that. We're like, oh my gosh, I don't deserve to be up here? Like, why am I with these people? I'm not smart enough. I don't have that elaborate speech. Why do you do that?
Why do you do that? When you operate, like when I got on stage for the first time in Bali, and I said, well, I'm called to do this. Even though I was scared, even though I was nervous, I've never traveled outside the U.S. ever in my life. Got my passport, 6 hours before my flight left.
Yep.
Because I was still talking myself out of going.
Yep.
Okay, I had to sit at the airport office in the city for 2-3 hours before they gave me my passport. Show them my itinerary, because they don't just give you a passport 6 hours before your flight leaves. Like, you got to show them your itinerary. You got to show that you have a return, a round trip flight. Like, you're not trying to stay there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All that. But I got nervous. But his thing, when you operate in the fact to say, I'm called to do this.
Yeah.
Like somebody called me. You gonna show? Oh, they called me. Why are you here? Somebody called me.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You're not explaining yourself. I'm called to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tamika, we gotta believe in God's plan and believe in the plan that He has for you.
Mm-hmm. But that's still a challenge for a lot of Christian
Yeah,
people.
we make it a challenge though.
We do make it a challenge because we go ahead with that self-doubt. We go
Yeah.
ahead with those stupid, stinking, nasty thoughts, and we're like, well, if God loves me so much, then why is this not working? And or maybe because I did this, and He's punishing me for it, or it's just amazing how people just justify, or they just come up with all kinds of reasonings,
They don't have to.
and they don't have to.
Mm-mm.
That's not God that's doing that, y'all. That's
Yeah,
you.
I
And
can't operate in that mindset.
yeah,
The way I see it, I got too many little kids looking at me, which is my
mhm,
children.
yeah,
So
yeah,
whatever it is, y'all, that
yeah.
keeps you out of that filthy, stinking thinking, you need to
Mm,
get from around it. You need to start getting yourself around positive women by joining our group, bit.ly Sister Connection. It's a free group. Get inside if you need positivity. Every day we post things about self-care, self-awareness, things like that. It's your responsibility, y'all, to get in a new environment. And you know what? For me, it was most people online that I came across. I met Twonta online.
mhm,
Me and her never met face to face.
mhm,
But that's just how things are. And that should be a blessing because just imagine back in the day how people had to deal with the filthy thinking, they had to stay stuck in that filth
mhm.
and that mindset. We have a key that we have to step into, and that's it.
And that's verbal abuse to yourself.
Yes, it is. Yeah, don't let guilt overrule your greatness. That's right.
Hmm.
Yeah, don't be guilty by anything. It's a learning process.
Yeah, because people like to do that. They like to
Yeah,
make you feel
yeah,
guilty,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you have to block that in a minute. It's
yeah,
like, listen, I'm not taking that. I'm not receiving that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I take ownership to what I did, and I repented. I asked people
yeah,
forgive me, or whatever you had to go to
yeah.
do.
You're working on yourself. Yep.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm not going to receive that because you still have your issues. Don't pour that poison on me.
That's
No.
right. And that's the thing. You sometimes you try to be around people who claim like they're perfect, and we got way more issues than you.
Wait,
When you really take the sheet off,
smell
it's
the
like,
funk.
ooh, girl.
You could smell the funk,
Okay,
and that's real talk.
because people who tell you that their business ain't going to tell you all their business. They're just
Mm,
not.
yeah,
It's just not.
it's just not. Mm-mm. And again, ladies, you got to know who you are from God's eyes.
Yeah.
He sees a perfect image because He
Hmm.
created a perfect beauty. That is you, and you got
Yep.
to start, parallel your thinking.
I can't say that word either, girl.
The way how God sees you.
Right. Right.
He
Right.
sees you beautiful. You got to see yourself as beautiful.
Yep.
He's not looking at the imperfections. You already perfected in Him,
Yep.
right? And you gotta continue to feed yourself, and believe in that. It's one thing
Yep.
about feeding it. It's the other thing about believing it and receiving it.
Right. 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 You're right.
You know what I mean? Because we can talk blue in the face, but if you don't, believe it or receive it, then child, please, it's like you're talking to a wall. You know what I mean? And we got to stop punishing ourselves over things that happened yesteryear. We got to stop doing that to ourselves.
Yes.
We got to learn to grow up and grow away from the pain, grow away from
Right.
those bullies, grow away from that. You
Yeah,
don't
you've
need to stay
outgrown
there.
them. You've outgrown them. So stop trying to fit them into your design in life. You
Yes.
outgrow people sometimes,
Yeah.
even family.
Even family.
You
Y'all,
know.
Thanksgiving is when? Next week. And I know some of y'all probably have planned some things. If not you, maybe because the people have the traditions of family coming together and all of that, and that's a great thing. But you know how families are. We see the movies, the family come together and stuff, and they go ahead and spread the whole life story.
Yeah. Just
you
do a
know?
Zoom with them, and you have an intimate dinner with the
Yes.
ones that
Yeah.
that
Exactly.
you
So
keep it small.
so celebrate that you don't think those nasty thoughts no.
Exactly. Keep it small. Groceries are expensive. You don't
Yes.
need to be ordering $500, $600 worth of food for one day. They'll be okay. They'll be
Yeah.
okay.
Or now let's y'all have, like, everyone take turns.
Yeah.
And yes, you were not created to fit in a box, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were free. But there's still a
Mm-hmm.
lot of us that don't even believe we are free.
Yeah.
it's,
You
it's,
don't.
it's, ooh, it's a lot.
And there's
It's,
a lot of people in your life that don't want to change.
yeah, they're
You
very,
know,
very
they're fine the
stubborn.
way they are. But you got to leave them right where they're at. You
Yes,
know, they don't
yes.
want to change. They like operating
They don't
in
want to
negativity or
compromise.
filthy thoughts. That's
Mm-mm.
them. There's people that survive off of that filthy thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They do. I know a lot of people that way. And it's like you can't, no matter what positivity you get, you can send them affirmations every single day of the year.
Yes.
They still going to have some negative to talk to you about. Oh, this bad happened to me today. They look for things to talk about negative. That's why
Woo!
gossip channels are big now. Like when you on certain YouTube channels and all they talk about is talk about other people.
Yeah. And it's amazing how
And
that is.
their life is beyond from perfect. But they got so much to say about celebrities, about influencers, about everybody else. Your
Yeah.
life been perfect. You're
Yeah.
not God.
Yeah. And people quick to go ahead and open up that video when they hear,
Yeah.
oh, so and so got kicked out of the church. And then
Yes.
on that, the
So and
person that
so
you talk about will go ahead and put
video
that.
came out by one person. I'm like, nobody's perfect.
Yeah. 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 All and we just have to be mindful, and we got to protect our space.
Yeah.
Protect your space, y'all. Protect what is something that you work so hard to get.
Yeah.
It took
Pray
you
over your
time
space.
to clean that area of
Yeah.
your life out. And
Shake off the negativity. Some
yes,
negative happened to me this morning. I said, all right, let me just shake it off, shake it off.
shake it off.
And I
Woo!
do it. I like shake it off. I start shaking my body, honey.
Yeah, baby.
So I'm doing it in the spirit and in the physical. I'm like, just
Gotta shake
shake
that
it
thing
off.
off. Oh my gosh.
You don't want
Yes.
to carry that all day, all year, all month. You're gonna miss your blessing.
You really,
You want to
really.
it's like blessing just walk right by because you want to carry all that weight. Yeah, it costs something.
It does cost something.
Absolutely, at all costs.
Yeah, so
Take it off.
celebrate those. If you got rid of those filthy thoughts in the past, celebrate that.
Celebrate it.
And definitely add, happy thoughts, great, good thoughts.
Yes, positive thoughts.
Thanksgiving is coming up, and you definitely want to start building positive memories and all those great things. Prepare for that. And again, continue to celebrate on the things you got rid of. You know what? Why don't y'all do that to your family? When your family come home for Thanksgiving, you want to do something like a traditional game or something like that. Put that out there.
Right.
Like what just celebrate of the things you got rid of. Put that out there. And they be like, oh, that's a good one. Because now people don't think about it that way. They celebrate by what they already got. Oh, girl, I
Right.
got me a
Right.
new car. I got this. I got that. And like I said, those things are great. But what about the things that's been a thorn in your side, that's been a stronghold in your life, that basically almost took you out of this earth? That whatever it is, celebrate those things. Tell them, girl, I'm so glad I got rid of this bully. I'm so glad I got rid of this self-doubt. I'm so glad I got rid of this procrastination.
Oh yes.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? You start talking that stuff, I'm telling you and your family will be just like in a whole different level in that conversation.
That's right.
Because
That's
you don't
right.
have time to build up the atmosphere with negative drama anymore. Life is too short. Life is too precious and too valuable.
Yes,
And
it
you got
is.
your little babies around there. I was raised in the back in the day, like, grown folks had their conversation and the kids went elsewhere. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? The little babies be coming around and stuff. We stop mid sentence. They be like, "What you want? What you want?
Yep. Yep.
Like,
Yep.
go outside and play. Go."
Go do something. Go do something.
Go do something, right? Who remember that? Who remember that? I mean, I grew up that way.
I
That's
know I
how.
do.
Yeah. So but yeah, I hope this bless you guys. To celebrate what you got rid of. Think about that more often, right? Especially
Yes.
around Thanksgiving. So yeah, we are so dope and excited about what's new.
What's new?
Yes, get excited about that, y'all. What's news is something that God put in my spirit a while back about sharing some news to you ladies that you don't normally hear or see on your actual news
Mm-hmm.
broadcast. So, of course, we have a couple of things that we want to share with you. And along with these articles that we post, we want you to take these posts, read it, of course, to yourself, and go ahead and share it on your news feed.
Right,
You
right.
know,
Please
it could be a
do.
great blessing to you because, again, we don't know what's going on in our neck of the woods or
Nope.
what's going on in the other states or what have you, or even the countries and stuff like that. We want to be a support to our beautiful sisters and
Ooh,
queens out there. This is
nice.
HBCU grad who aspires women to reclaim their sexy, honey. And
Amen, amen, and amen.
okay,
Yes.
come on now. Yes, so let me find that real quick. Yes, honey, she is gorgeous. Okay, this is Kimberly Biggs Robertson, and she's an entrepreneur, right, who inspires and motivates and encourages women to reclaim the sexy and
Ooh.
self-care through self-appreciation events. So she is the founder of the acronym SIS, which stands for Self-Care is Sexy.
Oh, I like that.
Isn't that cool? Isn't that
Wow.
offering dope energy products and services through celebration and creation. Oh my goodness. So she hosts women's self-love appreciation brunches and dinner parties for sister friends to glow. That's GLOW together, right?
Right.
Okay. She also designs spaces so women can operate in the best versions of themselves. So
I
this
love that.
coming December, Robeson would like to give away the SIS event to a tribe of sister friends. She is inviting those who are interested to send a brief email on how they feel one of these events could benefit their group. And so she has that information where you could click on that link. And there is also a chance to win a SIS products by following and liking their social media pages. This is so, so cool. And it goes on to give her a little brief background about herself, and her entrepreneurship and all those things like that. So definitely go ahead and read that, ladies. There's a lot of information here that you will truly be impressed about this
Uh-huh.
queen. What do you think on this? What do you think of this, Letish?
I love it. I mean, I feel like this is just so amazing because anything that brings women together is something that's very important to me. Obviously, there's so much chaos and negativity you can look up on the internet. And the fact that she's creating sort of this tribe, which is similar to us sister to sister connection movement.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing. It's
Isn't
it's
it
it's
cool?
it's it's frowned upon for us women to feel good, for us women to seek things that give us joy and make us happy sometimes. We're always meant to say work, 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 work and get out there and do that. But it's, her getting us back to ourselves, I think is so important.
It's very,
Yeah,
very important. And to
absolutely. I love this article.
to identify the sexy in you as well. Now, sexy does not always mean about your physical
Yeah,
attributes.
yeah.
Okay, that sexy could be about the way how your brain works, honey. That's
You're
sexy.
confident.
Yeah, your
Yeah,
confidence, the way how you organize, how you work your business, the way how you just dominate in life. That's sexy
right,
stuff. You
right.
know what
You're
I mean?
right.
You
Spot
don't have
on.
to expose your breasts and your little your valley. Hello, you ain't gotta. You
You
don't
know what
have
I'm
to do
saying? You
all
gotta
that.
do all that extraness.
You don't. You don't. And I truly believe it's just this is for. I didn't see here about like age groups or anything like that. Um, I'm looking now, just scanning through real quick,
Uh-huh.
and I don't see anything like that in terms of like an age group. But I think, but it just shows a picture though. There is a picture of her and women that are together and having a good time, and there are questions. I guess the person that reported this asked her some questions. So she's answering these questions. So you go ahead and, like I said, you take this time out because it's a lot. And read on what she has to say
Right.
about self care, why self care is important, and all those things like that. And it's just a great article. But yeah, I like this idea. It's phenomenal. It's fantastic, and we definitely need to support this queen. She is a graduate, I believe, from North Carolina A&T, I think. So this any of you who are graduates from that school, go ahead, give your sister a holler.
That's
Um,
right.
but at the end of the day, just go ahead and share this out to some of your sister friends, because they may be in that neck of the woods or whatever, or that are probably looking for a place or an environment where they can be able to learn more about their sexiness, or learn
Right.
more about
Right.
how to really care for themselves the right way.
The
you know
healthy way. Yeah.
a healthy way, absolutely. So this is all, I think this is all of our what we have for what's news for this week. But we are just so super super excited about what we share with you every week. We do our best to find something that's very inspiring and encouraging and uplifting, and just to let you know, ladies, that anything is possible if you just
Yes.
believe in yourself and just make it happen. So we are getting ready to move on to the next step, and that is our afterglow. The afterglow is where we come together and we just talk and chat for a good 45 minutes, at least to an hour, and we just recap on what we discussed on the show. And then, of course, we just go ahead and have a general conversation. So, of course, Leticia is going to go ahead and get that started for us. I won't be in tonight because
Yes.
homework.
The
I got
room is open, y'all. So Therese has provided the Zoom link. I just opened up the Zoom room, and as we mentioned earlier, you don't have to have your camera on.
right.
Our afterglow is just an extension of this show for us all to connect and
Yes.
chat and things like that about different things that you guys need help with as far as life, or just to chat. We have some fun conversations. So
Yeah.
you go
And
to the
also,
you go
I forgot to
go.
mention about the self-care event. The self-care
Oh
event
yes, my
is
bad.
this Saturday.
Woo,
Yes, it's
woo.
this Saturday at 11 a.m. So we are doing a brunch self-care event, and it's called Coffee and Cream. And those of you who didn't sign up, you missed out for this month,
Yep,
baby. Next month is coming up, God willing. So you have an opportunity to get prepared for that and sign up for that. And we will let you know about that event that will be coming up in December. But definitely, guys, those of you who did sign up, you should have already received your packet already. And as if you didn't get a chance to open it up, you see there's some goodies in there that you
yep,
definitely get a chance to try out. We're going to have fun. It's going to be fun.
absolutely.
You're going to present your coffee, your latte, whatever your drink is, and we're just
Uh-huh.
going to have a good, fun time. It's a private event. So of course it's not going to be publicized. So those of you who didn't sign up, you're not going to be able to see the event.
That's
Okay.
right. And
So yeah,
so again, go to that Zoom link. I see a couple of you guys are rolling on in to the
yeah,
Zoom room. The Zoom room is open. So
yes,
click on that link right now if you want to hang out with us. It's not going to be long. We don't normally stay on for longer than an hour, so or
right.
maybe less. Tonight would be a little bit less. But
Yes.
come join us and have some fun conversation. So I see Tamika. I think I see LaShawn. Yep, I see her. She just entered the building. So yeah, come on in, y'all. Come on in. Yes.
But
Oh,
other than that,
Latrice.
ladies, y'all have a good night, and we are going to see you off, and we'll see you soon. Okay. Have a good one.
Bye, y'all. See y'all next week.